Hi, my name is Annie, and welcome to the Walking Word, where we go through the Holy Bible in a year as part of discipling. We are currently in the book of Joshua, and we're in Joshua chapter 10, where we're going through the list of all the kings that Joshua had conquered. Now, something about the book of Joshua, it's a book about conquest. So, conquest of the land of Canaan, the land that God promised to the Israelites. So, Joshua chapter 12. The kings of the land east of the Jordan from the river Arnon to Mount Hermon, including all the east section of the Arabah, whom the Israelites conquered and whose lands they occupied were first. I remember this story. I really enjoyed it. First, Sihon, king of the Amorites. We in Psalms 136 and throughout Scripture, um, Sihon, the king of the Amorites, and Og, the king of Bashan, are repeated throughout Scripture, just being the first representatives of who God promised the Israelites they'll conquer. Okay, back to verse 12. First, it was Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon. His domain extended from the Aroe, which is on the bank of the Wadi Arnon, to include the Wadi itself and the land northward through half of Gilead to the Wadi Jabuk, as well as the Arabah from the east side of the Sea of Chinnerat, as far south as the east side of the Salt Sea of the Arabah, in the direction of Beth Jeshimoth, to a point under a slope of Pisgah. Secondly, it was Og, king of Bashan, a survivor of the Rephaim, who lived in Ashtaroth and Edrei. He ruled over Mount Hermon, Saleka, and all Bashan as far as the boundary of the Geshurites and the Maccathites, and over half of Gilead as far as the territory of Sihon, king of Heshbon. That now makes sense why they combined efforts, those two kings. After after Moses, the servant of the Lord, and Israelites conquered them, he assigned their land to the Reubenites, the Gadites, and the half tribe of Manasseh as their property. Now, that land of King Sihon and King Og, was given to the tribes that didn't do the Transjordan move. You remember the ones who are livestock keepers, the Reubenites, the Gadites, and half of the tribe of Manasseh were kept a lot of livestock, and that's why they needed that land. It had good pasture. Let's continue. Verse 7. This is a list of the kings whom Joshua, so Og and Sihon were conquered by Moses, led by Moses in the conquest. But now we're looking at those whom Joshua had conquered. This is a list of the kings whom Joshua and the Israelites conquered, west of the Jordan, and whose land, from Balgad in the Lebanon valley to Mount Halak, which rises towards Seir, Joshua apportioned to the tribes of Israel. It included the mountain regions and foothills, the Arabah, the slopes. Verse 8. It included the mountain regions and foothills, the Arabah, the slopes, the desert, and the Negev, belonging to the Hittites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. They were the kings of Jericho, Ai, which is near Bethel, Jerusalem, Hebron, Jarmuth, Lachish, Eglon, Gezer, Debir, Geda, Hormah, Arad, Libnah, Adullam, Makkedah, Bethel, Tapua, Hefer, Aphek, Lasharon, Madon, Hazor, Shimron, Akshaf, Tanak, Megiddo, Kadesh, Jokneam at Carmel, and Dor in Naphath-dor, the foreign king at Gilgal, and the king of Tirzah, 31 kings in all. Let's move on to chapter 13, where now Joshua is dividing up the land.